The Gifted Brothers. Betal was happily swinging from a tree branch when King Vikramaditya reached him. Vikramaditya grabbed Betal and pulled him down from the tree. He placed Betal around his shoulders and continued his journey. The night was calm and peaceful. The thin clouds quietly moved away, revealing the twinkling stars in the sky. Betal sighed and asked the king, "You don't give up easily, do you?" The king smiled but said nothing. Betal began to tell another story. Once upon a time, in the city of Patliputra, there lived a wise Brahman. The Brahman was a gentle and devout man. He was kind-hearted and always helped others. He had two sons who were just as gentle and kind as their father. These two sons were exceptionally talented. The elder son had a special gift. He could judge people's characters very accurately. By doing so, he could warn others about people's intentions. This ability made him very respected and admired. The younger brother also had a unique talent. He could judge the nature of things by smelling them. This ability allowed him to detect things that others couldn't. Both brothers were extraordinary in their own ways. The talents of the two brothers soon became widely known throughout the kingdom. People talked about their abilities with admiration and wonder. Eventually, the news of their talents reached the king. The king was curious and wanted to see these talented brothers for himself. So, one day, he called them to his court. When the brothers arrived at the court, the king was impressed by their humble and respectful demeanor. He spoke to them and tested their abilities. The king found that their talents were indeed remarkable. He decided that he wanted these talented brothers to be his special advisors. The brothers agreed to serve the king. From that day on, the brothers began to assist the king in all his decisions. Their advice was always wise and valuable. The king trusted them completely. The brothers would often travel with the king on his diplomatic visits to other kingdoms. Their presence and advice were always appreciated. One day, the king had to visit another kingdom on a diplomatic mission. He took the two brothers with him. When they arrived in the other kingdom, they were given a very warm welcome. The king and his party were treated with great respect and honor. A grand festival was organized in their honor. There were several programs and events to entertain them. The king and his men enjoyed the food and wine that was served at the festival. They feasted all night and had a great time. After the feast, the king felt tired and wanted to rest. The large royal guest room was beautifully decorated and richly furnished for him. The king, having eaten a lot, wanted nothing more than to lay his head on the pillow and close his eyes for a bit. As the king entered the room with the brothers behind him, the elder brother suddenly spoke up. He said, "Your Majesty, I do not trust the king of this kingdom. He is jealous of you and plots to kill you." The king was surprised by the elder brother's words. He replied, "Nonsense. Our host has gone to great lengths to make us comfortable. I don't see how he may be plotting to harm me. I think too much food is making you imagine things." The king then sat on his bed and leaned forward to grab the pillow. However, the elder brother quickly caught his wrist and stopped him. "Pardon me, Your Majesty, but I think something is wrong. We must have that pillow checked before you lay your head on it," he said. The king was confused and irritated by the elder brother's insistence. But he could not ignore the warning. The king decided to have the pillow inspected. He asked the younger brother to check the pillow. The younger brother, who was standing at the door, came closer. He sniffed the pillow carefully. After a moment, the younger brother said, "The pillow is laced with animal hair, Your Highness. Some of the hairs are sharp and can cut through your skin if you lie on it. The tips of these hairs are laced with poison that can kill you." The king was shocked by this revelation. He decided not to touch the pillow. Instead, he spent the rest of the night without using a pillow. The next morning, the king secretly carried the pillow with him when he returned to his own kingdom. When he arrived, he had the pillow checked by experts. The experts confirmed that the brothers were correct. The pillow was indeed laced with poison. The king was grateful to the brothers for saving his life. He rewarded them generously for their service and loyalty. The brothers continued to serve the king faithfully, and their wisdom and talents were highly valued. Betal, who had been telling the story, continued, "Tell me, great king, which of the two brothers was wiser and had the greater talent?" King Vikramaditya smiled, knowing the answer. He said, "The elder one was wiser. He was the one who sensed the wrong intentions of our host. He suspected the pillow first. The younger brother only used his talents to confirm his brother's suspicion." Betal was pleased with the king's judgment. He began to laugh and said, "Your judgment is flawless." With that, Betal rose and flew back to his tree. An owl hooted in the forest, and its call echoed through the night.